Manchester City versus Newcastle, a game that usually takes your breath away. Two teams that always go at each other and two teams with lots and lots of money. And today we're building our ultimate Newcastle and City combined 11, and we're joined by a very special guest, Newcastle superfan himself, Adam Pearson, ladies and gentlemen. Adam, welcome to the channel. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on, Mr. Newcastle's finest YouTuber. How are you doing today? Thank you for coming on, though.
I'm doing good, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be on, and for the first time in such a long time, I can actually, back Newcastle somewhat against Manchester City, so I'm looking forward to talking through these players. I'm sure it's going to be a right debate going on, so I can't wait for it. It's a pleasure to come on.
It's definitely going to be close, but without further ado, let's jump straight into it. If you haven't already subscribed to Adam, make sure to check him out. He is the GOAT of Newcastle YouTubers, and let's go straight into the goalkeeper.
Pope or Ederson?
I think this is quite close. Ederson had a good season last year, nominated for the Team of the Year. I'm still quite a harsh critic of Ederson, but Nick Pope is an unbelievable goalkeeper. Adam, Nick Pope or Ederson? Who you thinking?
Ooh, it is a tricky one. I'm actually going to back Ederson. I think he's a bit better with his feet. Nick Pope's good, but I still think Ederson's slightly better.
Do you know what's crazy? This was one of the ones that I was actually willing to give you. I was actually willing to give you Nick Pope if you wanted to take him. It's like both of them are decent. I think Pope's a better shot stopper, but really struggles playing out of the back. I think he's a proper traditional English goalkeeper. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. I think Nick Pope really likes to play with his feet, even though I don't think he's confident playing with his feet. He's a great shot stopper, but in all honesty, I think if you put Ederson in Newcastle's team, I actually would slightly prefer him to Pope.
Yeah, well, with the football that Newcastle are now adapting into, they are playing a lot out the back. So are we in agreement? Are we going to go with Ederson here? Because I still can't believe it. Okay, Ederson is the goalkeeper of mine and Adam's combined 11. I'm a bit shocked, even as a blue.
Trippier or Walker? Two
of England's finest right-backs locking each other up here in the combined 11. Which one do you take? Adam, I'm going to let you go first.
I'm good. He's had a bad month, but I'm backing Kieran Trippier. I like the way he plays. He can play on both sides as a full-back. I think he's class. He's got a lot of experience to his name, and I do prefer him to Kyle Walker, even though they both are class.
Really? The fact that Trippier was nominated for Team of the Year was fantastic. I think he deserves that nomination. Yes, he's had a bad month, couple of bad performances. The Everton one sticks out a bit for me. But I remember coming to St James's Park last year, being in the heavens as per usual, and seeing him score an unbelievable free kick against City. An absolute perler into the top corner. And that's part of Trippier's game that he can offer over Walker. But Kyle Walker, I think, is a better defender. And he's absolutely rapid. And when we play Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, he can keep the best of wingers quiet. What do you think? Trippier better attacking, but Walker better defending? Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I think I probably would. I still think Trippier's defense quite good. Don't get me wrong. Walker has the pace too. He's a little bit younger, so I think probably goes into his favour. I don't think there's too much in it, but let's say for now we put Kieran Trippier on the Manchester City's team, I still think he'll do an unbelievable job for them. So it depends how you look at it, but for me, I still think Trippier's all-round is better than Kyle Walker.
I agree with that. I do think that Kieran Trippier would strengthen up our team. As you gave me Ederson, and Kieran Trippier was nominated for Team of the Year, I'm going to do it. Usually, I back my boy Walker to the end. However, I think Trippier is a solid option. So I am happy to take Kieran Trippier on this one, Adam, if you are happy.
Yes, I am happy with that choice, thank you.
Of course you're happy with that choice. Kieran Trippier is our right back in the combined 11.
Botman or Guardiola?
Give Gvardiol time. Like, he has been a good signing. He was really up there in terms of the Ballon d'Or ranking, and he had a great season at Leipzig. I know most of you guys won't watch the Bundesliga, but remember he did score against City in the only goal as we beat them on aggregate about 8-1. So it doesn't look good that they conceded 8 goals against us, and Haaland scored 5 of them. But I'm leaning towards Botman. Adam, what are you thinking here?
I've got to agree with Botman, who's one of the best performing centre-halves in the league last year. Newcastle, one of the main reasons why they are so composed as a back four is just due to Botman's strengths. He is so good, he makes our defenders better as well. So as good as Guardiola is, I still think Botman is a better player, and I think it's much needed for Newcastle's squad.
I think Botman would actually get in City's team. I generally think along him and Ruben Dias together, which may be our back two, maybe be our centre-back pairing, is an absolute fantastic player. And last season, I remember from like September to December, he was the best centre-back in the league. Like, people were calling him to be in the team of the season so far at Christmas. It was absolutely insane. And how much he's done for Newcastle. Newcastle were very leaky defence the season before, and he shored that defence up alongside Shah. What a player he's been. I bet he's a pleasure to watch week in, week out, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant. At his age as well, he's so young, and he just feels like he's been around forever. He's such a good player. He's composed, and I think definitely one over the next 3-4 years, he's just going to get better and better. So definitely keep an eye on him.
I definitely think that Botman makes this place. Adam, agree?
I can't believe I'm saying Newcastle's got 2-1 up over C.
Yeah, you do. You've got 2 players in compared to us. And to be honest, I would have put Pope in, not going to lie. So you might have had a hat-trick on another day. Maybe that one's called offside, but 2-1 so far to Newcastle. Botman goes in.
Shah or Diaz?
I swear some lad on pitch side said that Shah was the best centre-back in the league. Adam, as a Newcastle fan, is that correct? Am I missing something?
Well, I can probably guess who's made that comment, and no, I don't agree with him. Ruben Diaz is miles better than Fabian Shah, can't lie. Or I'll probably put John Stones in over Shah as well, as much as I like Fabian. He's a great player, but City centre-halves are the best in the world for a reason. Diaz is definitely going in.
Diaz, 100%. I don't think we need to say any more. Let's put Ruben Diaz in.
Livramento or a K?
I say it every time. City have not had a left-back in the club since flipping Kolarov. It has been years. We've gone through Fabian Delph, Laporte, Zinchenko, who we turned from a centre-attacking mid into an average left-back. And now Nathan Ake has been the best out of all of them. But at the end of the day, he's still a centre-half. I know Livramento usually likes to play on the right side of this back four, but at least he's a full-back. And he's been a breath of fresh air since he came in. I remember him coming in. I remember Angry Ginge making a comment about Livramento in the FA Cup, in the League Cup game, in which Newcastle played at Old Trafford. And boy, did he show up that day at Old Trafford. He got the assist for the Almiron goal. He had an amazing game. I think Livramento is a very underrated player. And Adam, I'm sure you're going to back me up on this.
He's a big match player, Livramento. I remember playing Manchester City in the Carabao Cup, man of match in that game. We got man of match at Old Trafford as well against Manchester United. For 90 minutes, we almost had a clean sheet away at PSG. It wasn't for a last-minute penalty. So he's someone that turns up on big occasions. He can stand up to likes of Kylian Mbappe and actually have a good game against him. I think for his age as well, as much as I like Nathan Ake as a good player, but I actually would go Livramento on this. I think with what he's already done and what he's prospect of doing, he's such a good player. I think as City fans watch him every week, like he's unbelievable to watch.
I think he's young as well. I feel like I've been watching him for a while, the way that he controls the game. I was at obviously St James's Park when you beat us 1-0. A question away from this of this debate. You were in the stands, obviously you go home and away, Newcastle everywhere, brilliant to see. Same with me with City. But you were in the stands at the Parc des Princes. How did you feel when you seen that penalty live, and what was going through your mind at the time?
We got robbed, I'm not going to lie. If you watched the game, then PSG should have scored on their own, the amount of chances they had, but it was never a pen. You wouldn't see that anywhere else. So the fact that PSG got a pen last kick of the game and then Mbappe steps up, you know he's going to score it. So it was a horrible feeling. I felt a bit deflated afterwards. It was still a good point at the time, but at the end of the day, Newcastle should have got the job done against Milan, and we didn't, which is why we are completely out of Europe now. But it is what it is. I thought we'd give it a good go, but on the day at the PSG game, yes, I was distraught.
Do you think that's Do you think that's a benefit going out of Europe, really, to be able to focus on the FA Cup and getting back into the top four of the Premier League?
Well, I think for Newcastle's squad, yes, we aren't at the levels of Manchester City where you got 2 squads worth of players that can continuously come into the team. We've got quite a depleted squad in some areas of the pitch, so to go out of the Champions League, yes, it's not ideal, but you got the league to focus on now, you got the FA Cup, just try and finish as best as we can, but it's still a long-term process. We just had to take over. It's going to take a bit of time, but I think it's a good time to go out of the Champions League, I have to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. To be honest, you did better than us. The first time that we went in the Champions League, we came third in our group, and it was an easy group. Unlike yours, you guys had Dortmund, Milan, and PSG, like 3 of the best teams in Germany, Italy, and France, respectively. So I think you did the country proud. To be honest, considering that you've not been in the Champions League for so long, it was good to watch, especially that win against PSG. I'm sure that was an amazing night. But back to Livramento versus Ake. You're heading towards Livramento, and to be honest, I know City are going to get more and more slots as we go up the pitch because that's usually where we thrive more, especially in that midfield. So I am happy to concede this one, and we're going to go with Livramento. I'm sure you're happy with that, Ad.
Yes.
He's very happy. Livramento goes into the combined 11.
Bruno G or Rodri?
Adam, I know Bruno Himmerai is an amazing player for you guys, but Rodri is the best DM in the world. He is unbelievable. The big game player that he is. Screamers against Bayern Munich. Goals in the Champions League final. When we took Rodri out of our team when we played you, we looked awful. And we went on to lose the 3 consecutive games as well. We lost to you, Wolves and Arsenal in the space of 2 weeks. It was an absolute nightmare. All 3 games without Rodri. He is absolutely imperative on our team. But that's no disrespect to Bruno Himmerai. He is so good. I absolutely love Bruno Himmerai. But what are you thinking on this one, Adam?
Bruno is class, but Rodri is the best. You got to put Rodri in. So as much as I like Bruno, ultimately Rodri is a much better player. He's someone that obviously got the Champions League winning goal. He's seen his experience already, his calibre as a player. I think Manchester City, if you didn't have De Bruyne, you didn't have Rodri, those are the 2 key midfielders. Even just one of them gone, I think you're in big trouble. So Rodri sees this season so far, City have been a bit up and down without him, but he's class, someone I'm a massive fan of, and I think he is the best defensive midfielder currently in the world.
Yeah, obviously no shame on Bruno Himmerai to lose a battle against Rodri, but how good's Bruno been this season and last season particularly?
Oh, he's unbelievable player. I think eventually, I'm a bit worried actually, because I think he has around £100 million release clause, which I think for the kind of player that he is, I can see a team snapping him up if they really wanted to, so I'm a bit worried over the future of him actually, but... No, he is class.
He needs to sign a new contract, get a bigger release clause, because to be honest, if I was a manager of a team, especially like a Bayern Munich or a Barcelona might be snapping that.
Yeah, I think quite a few teams would do it, to be fair. So I think once that deal happens, we've got to move on from it, but he's class player for any team. He'll slot right him.
But we're both in agreement that Rodri makes this place, correct?
Yes.
Can we talk about Rodri? He's going in the combined 11.
Joel Linton or Kovacic?
I really like Joel Linton. I think he's a great player. I think he's a hard worker. And I think he's a bit of a beast, considering that he used to play striker at Hoffenheim. I remember having a Future Stars card of him at Hoffenheim. And he's turned into one of the best centre mids in this Newcastle team. It's great to watch. What do you think of Joel Linton, Adam?
What a transformation he has. He's much better than I think most people are giving credit for. I think everyone, including myself, came as a striker. £40 million, you're calling this guy a flop. He's not good enough, he can't do this, he can't do that. As a midfielder, since Eddie Howe's came, and the guy's just a different player entirely, are so good. I think, honestly, any team out there, the likes of Manchester City, he can fit in. He's actually that good of a player. He's physical, he's aggressive, he's horrible to play against. He's just got a bite to him now. I love Joe Linton as a player, and I think for any footballer out there, it's a good role model to look at. For me, he's class, Joe Linton. You really need this player.
I'll tell you what, imagine a City midfield, which might ultimately be our combined 11 midfield, with Rodri, De Bruyne and Joe Linton. You've got like the physicalness of Joe Linton going up one-on-one against, like, for example, say we were playing Real Madrid. He could outmuscle Bellingham and outmaneuver Bellingham just with his pure strength and dynamic that he is. And obviously KDB is KDB. But I'll tell you what, he's one hell of a player. And one hell of a transformation, like you said, Adam. To go from a striker to one of the best midfielders in the Newcastle squad. It's unbelievable. Shouts for Mateo Kovacic. He's very consistent. Great passer of the ball. But for me, he's no Joe Linton. And the Brazilian gets the place. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Joe Linton is better than Kovacic.
Yeah, Joe Linton's going in. What a midfield this is going to be, because we're moving on to the next one.
Longstaff or KDB?
Okay, on to the next midfield spot. And it's got to be my ginger brother, KDB. He is back, baby, and he's back for the game at St James's Park, a place in which he picks out reverse balls to Bernardo Silva to send the away end mental. After being 3-1 down to a trips free kick, we make it back to 3-3, and only KDB can find passes like he can. He's my ginger brother for a reason. YouTube call it an OTP, and I agree with them. It's surely got to be my ginger brother, right, Adam?
Well, I've got to back his ginger brother, De Bruyne, on this one. I like Longstaff, good player, but De Bruyne is miles ahead of him.
Absolutely. My ginger brother goes straight in, and what an unbelievable midfield that is.
Almiron or Bernardo?
This is a tough right-wing debate. Bernardo Silva is so versatile, but Miguel Almiron has been playing really well. More particularly last season, and at the start of this season. I think he had an absolute blinder at some points where he got the Premier League Player of the Month. But Bernardo Silva is one of the most consistent players on the planet. Always shows up and gives at least a 9 of 10 performance, if not a 10 of 10. He can run the whole game. He's absolutely unbelievable. I'm interested to see what you think, Adam, on this one.
I still back Bernardo Silva over Almiron. Other than that, Mum Speller saw last season, he's not a player that gets many goal contributions. Bernardo Silva, as you said, consistent player, can add quite a lot to the team. If I had to pick one now, Bernardo Silva, I would much rather Bernardo Silva and Almiron. So, yeah, I'll back your City boy on this one.
Yeah, he's back in the blue. But no disrespect to Almiron, because I think he's a great player. And it's great to see a Paraguayan international as well come and do so well. And obviously he sent St James's Park into absolute raptures with that first goal against PSG. We were actually watching the game on the big screen in Leipzig when that goal went in. It came up so we could all watch it, even though the game was in progress, because it was such a big goal for Newcastle United. And I'm sure, Adam, you were going absolutely crazy in the stands, right?
Oh, I couldn't believe it, yeah. I was confident for the PSG game, but actually got 4 goals against them in your first home game back in the Champions League. It was one of them magic moments for us. So it was a great opportunity for the players, and hopefully over the next couple of years it won't be the only opportunity we have.
It definitely won't be. I think Newcastle will be there or thereabouts, knocking around in the Champions League. It takes a while to be able to adapt. Look at how long it's taken us to win it. It took us 11 years. Like, the first time that we went in, it was 2012 for a long time, and then we ended up winning it in 2023. And how many times have we bottled it? So it's hard. It is hard, and ultimately you will progress as a football club to be able to deal with it. But in terms of this debate, I think Bernardo Silva goes in, and I think he'd be a great addition to the Newcastle squad. Adam, are we in agreement? Bernardo Silva here?
Yes, I'm agreeing.
Bernardo Silva.
Gordon or Foden?
A great English battle, and Anthony Gordon's been excellent this year, I do have to say, but Phil Foden's one of the hottest prophecies on the planet right now. People say that Saka's better than Foden. We look at Saka's numbers in his best season, and in Foden's worst season, he still matches it. Look at Foden's numbers this season. They've been insane. Not just the numbers. His whole dynamic of the way that he plays, it's just like a wand of a left foot. He's bad, but he sort of gives me Messi vibes. Like, when he has that ball on his left foot, you can't get it off him. No comparison to Messi. Messi's the GOAT. But, yeah, surely it's Foden here, Adam, unless you want to put up a fight for Gordon.
Well, I will back Gordon somewhat. He is a class player, but Phil Foden is one of the best out there. I do like Gordon this season, though. He's definitely had a bit of bite to him ever since he won the Euros, of course, with England. Player of the tournament as well. It's playing much better now. I think over the next couple of years, he definitely will become even better, but Phil Foden is still miles ahead of him.
Absolutely. Phil Foden goes in after me and Adam.
Isaac or Alvarez?
As you probably guessed, Newcastle got a hell of a lot of injuries, so we're putting all their squad together as if they've got none. Cities, though, we're doing it as if we are going to play the game tomorrow, which we are. So it's Alvarez versus Isaac. Now, my case for Alvarez, he's won it all. He's won everything. The World Cup, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, the FA Cup, you name it, he's won it. He was also, should have been nominated for Team of the Year and placed very, very highly in the Ballon d'Or. But Alexander Isak, I think, is a better striker than Julian Alvarez, but Alvarez is more dynamic. Adam, what are you thinking?
It is an interesting one. Yes, he has won everything in Manchester City, but let's say Manchester City signed Isak instead of Alvarez. I still think they would have won everything. Alvarez is a good player, but I think if Isak was in his position, he'd probably do the same, if not slightly better. I do prefer Isak, honestly, as a player. The way I watch him, he's actually quite skillful on the ball. He's quick, he's good at getting in behind, and he's someone that, I mean, Man City saw earlier in the season, he's someone that can come up with a goal. And for me, I like Alvarez. I do honestly like him, but I think Isak is probably slightly better than him.
Well, the question is here, do you want to play someone who's more versatile, that's somebody that can play in a false nine, that goes out to the wingers a lot, which leaves space in the middle for not really a striker? Or do you want an out-and-out centre-forward that's going to be Jack in the box, or Isak in the box against us when he won it against us in the Carabao Cup? Adam, I'll leave you with the call, and whatever you call here will be who we take.
Well, I think for Manchester City's team, you see our best 11 here. I think Isak's the better fit, and we do need that striker that's going to be there. Haaland would normally be there, of course, but in this case, when it's Alvarez and Isak, I think Isak's a better fit. I think it'll work more. And if you look at Isak's stats since his game at Newcastle, he's actually still one of statistically one of the best strikers in the league.
Okay, let's go with that then. If we need a striker, then I think we're going to go with the Swedish man himself, Alexander Isak. In agreement, Adam?
Yes.
Let's go for it. Isak is the striker in our combined 11.
Newcastle versus City score prediction.
So there is mine and Adam's completed Newcastle combined 11. Now it's time to give a score prediction for tomorrow's game. Adam, I'm going to let you go first because I'm too nervous.
I'm nervous as well, actually. Newcastle's had quite poor form going at this game, but we just won at Sunderland at the time we are Derby the last week. Now, when I look at this Newcastle team, I think they will have quite a big confidence going at this game. Our home form, with the exception of a horrible Nottingham Forest loss, has actually been quite good. So, going at this game, I think it's a good time for City when the likes of De Bruyne are starting to come back into the team, but it's a bit too early for him. He's not 100% yet. I think Newcastle probably can catch City off guard. I think we will somewhat. I'm still not sure. I think it'll either be a 1-1 or 2-1 either way. But as a Newcastle fan, I'm going to be confident and I'm going to back 2-1 to Newcastle. But I can't see this game going either way.
Fair enough. I think that's quite a very, very reasonable reflection. I think what you said about it being a bit too early is spot on. De Bruyne already got 30 minutes against Huddersfield. I know we got an assist. But City don't really hit form until like mid-February, March. The minute that we play a big team and get a great win in like March and April, that's when we start moving on and just pummeling everybody like we are, like our little steam train ourselves. I think this is going to be a really close contest. Like you said, Newcastle on a big high after beating Sunderland in the Timeware derby. Great victory for you, Magpies. But I tell you what, I don't think we'll win this game. I don't think we'll lose this game, but I don't think we'll win this game. So I know it was an absolute stunner last season when we met at St James's Park, and we've already been up there this season and lost. So I think this is going to be a draw. I'm going to go 2-2, and I'm going to say, that my ginger brother scores. I'm going to say my ginger brother scores and maybe Isak scores a couple. Maybe a penalty as well. I think it's going to be a great game. And obviously me and Adam are both going to it. So you can check out the vlog on mine and his channel. It's going to be a belt. So Adam, thank you very much for coming on. And what an 11 that we've built. Are you happy with our combined 11?
Yeah, actually, considering the fact that I could have picked Pope over Edison, I think Newcastle actually would have won 11, as mental as that sounds. But honestly, though, I think it's a fair 11. I think there might be a couple of disagreements in there, but I think, in all honesty, it's probably as fair as you're going to get. I'm happy with my 11, and it just shows over the last couple of years when Newcastle's came to actually being able to compete with some of Manchester City's players. So I'm glad I'm not doing this 2 years ago, mine, because it would have been 0-11 to City. But no, honestly, it's been great coming on. It's been great to have a little bit of a debate here.
No, thank you very much for coming on, Adam. If you have enjoyed the video, smash the like and subscribe down below. Make sure to check out Adam. I'm sure all you Newcastle boys are already subscribed to him. He's the absolute GOAT. Let me know in the comments if you agree with our combined 11s. Just to let you know, Adam, if you hadn't have given me Edison, I might not have given you Isak. So anyway, that's enough debates for this video. But yeah, check Adam out, hit that subscribe button and comment down below who makes your Newcastle versus City combined 11.